Where'd you pick up this ideology from? Because it's strange to hear a foundational Black American talking about black on black crime and white supremacy is not the problem and all that. Like, it's kind of strange to hear.
Well, I think we got to come from a different angle
like
right now, because the thing about it is that the only problem is that we only talking about white supremacy. Well, the thing about it is we're not going to be able to fix anything until we fix us. If I have a child over here and I say, hey, you want to compete with somebody, you got to fix yourself. You got to be better first. You ain't gonna be able to compete with them until you become a better person, right? So as a collective, I would say we have to be better because we don't stick together. I mean, we got $1.6 trillion of spending power. Guess what? We're not building anything with it. What are we doing? We're putting the money right back into the white man's hand. We spending money on Louis Vuitton. We spending money on Mercedes Benz and stuff like that. We got enough money right now. It's about mentality and what we're doing with our money. It's not about the fact that we're not making the money. So we already got the power in our hands. We don't even know what to do with it. That's the issue. The power is already in our hands. We're $1.6 trillion. Think about if we put our money together collectively, or if Hispanics put their money together collectively, over a 10-year period, we could damn near build an empire. But the problem is we don't stick together. The problem is that we're killing each other. The problem is we don't have our families together. The problem is that most of us are raised by single mothers. The problem is a lot of us are lost. The problem is a lot of us are not going to college to get higher end degrees. The problem is that our mentality has to change.
So you said we already have the wealth. We already have the wealth that we need because
we have the money. We don't have the wealth. What I mean when I say wealth, when you say wealth, that means that we have to be owning something. The problem is that we're not owning something. We actually know how to make money. We know how to make money. Even if all of us blue collar, I made $100,000 as a blue collar person. So what I'm saying is we make the money, right? Now if all of us were doing like how we do in Atlanta, around the country, and people start sticking together and putting their money together, because in Atlanta I see people with Bentleys and Ferraris all the time. Black people with Bentleys and Ferraris all the time. Yeah, I also
see black people sleeping outside under bridges and all that too in Atlanta.
Yeah, but when you see that happening as well, guess what? That's drugs. So we got to be able to come together. There's drugs that keep somebody out there. It ain't because of the white man that he's sleeping under the bridge. It's because of
it's not. It's not. It's not because of the white man. It's not because of the white man. I don't use that terminology.
If somebody's sleeping up under the bridge, that means their whole family gave up on them.
It's not because of the white man, though. Let me just be clear with that language. It's because of white supremacy. There's a system in place that socially engineered that condition.
I won't say that.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of stuff that you're pointing out are the symptoms. They're not actually the problem. Those are the symptoms. We got here somehow, because even when we go back, like we just agreed on a little while ago, even when we go back to the time when we had all of these values and all of this stuff, we were still in the same condition. There were still black people sleeping under the bridge.
I won't even say that we was in the same condition.
We
actually were doing a lot.
It's a fact. That's a fact. By every metric of society, we have not moved not one iota. By every metric of society, we are still in the same social economic position that we were in the 1950s and before.
The reason why we haven't moved, is because we would have moved if families would have stuck together and kept those moral values. It's as simple as that. So I'm gonna tell you something like this: white supremacy obviously is not that effective if there's a lot of white people out here on meth and poor. White supremacy is not that effective if there's a lot of white people out here that have no power. Most of America is poor white people. I've been all over the country. They work at Home Depot. They work at Waffle House. They work at. You're talking about a small percentage, maybe about 10% of white people that own everything. Maybe 5% of white people. Okay, so you're talking about a very small, minute amount of white people that own everything. There's also a small, minute of black people that have wealth as well. So you got to be able to look at it like that. There's only,
but this is the reason why I say white supremacy and not white people, because what we're talking about is a system. There's a system in